They didn't want you to connect these dots. But the second you see how Trump's latest moves line up with XRP, you'll never look at this market the same way again, because if even half of these rumors are true, we are watching a quiet financial coup unfold in real time, and XRP is sitting right in the blast zone of opportunity. Welcome back to XRP Insider Network, the channel where we decode the power plays, the backroom deals, and the hidden agendas behind the XRP charts you stare at every day. If you're hungry for real XRP intel, make sure you smash that like button right now, subscribe to XRP Insider Network, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the moment when the insiders finally slip and the truth leaks out in plain sight. Tonight we're diving into the wild, escalating rumor storm tying Donald Trump, a banned digital dollar, a secret US crypto reserve, and one very specific asset, XRP, into a single narrative that sounds like conspiracy, until you start walking through the timeline step by step and realize something way bigger is taking shape behind the headlines. Let's start with what we know, not the speculation. In January 2025, Trump signs an executive order that doesn't just talk about crypto, it flat out bans US agencies from launching a central bank digital currency, a US CBDC, and instead pushes for leadership in private digital assets and dollar-backed stablecoins, a total reversal from the old control everything mindset, and a direct signal that the new system won't be built on a government-owned surveillance coin, but on open networks and market-based rails. That alone already changes the game for XRP, because if you're killing the digital dollar, you're basically saying, we're going to lean on existing rails and liquidity networks instead of one giant Fed coin, and XRP was literally architected as a bridge asset for cross-border settlement and institutional money flows. Then, just weeks later, we get Trump World floating the concept of a strategic Bitcoin reserve and a broader US digital asset stockpile, with talk of a national crypto reserve that doesn't just hold BTC, but a basket of major assets, including, according to multiple crypto reports and community breakdowns, XRP sitting right there alongside Bitcoin, Ethereum alternatives, and other top-layer protocols. That's where the rumors go nuclear, because suddenly TikTok clips, X threads, and Telegram chats are all asking the same question. If the White House is considering a national crypto treasury and they're deliberately banning a CBDC, does that mean XRP is being quietly positioned as one of the core settlement tools in this new Trump-era financial infrastructure? And here's where it gets even more dramatic. A recent partisan report in DC accuses the Trump family of building a multi-billion-dollar crypto empire with tangled interests across tokens, exchanges, and offshore vehicles. And while that report is absolutely political and loaded with spin, the big takeaway for XRP holders is simple. This administration is not anti-crypto anymore. It's neck deep in it, financially and politically. And when the people in power have skin in the game, they tend to create a rulebook that protects their own bags. Now combine that with the ongoing chatter that Trump's advisors and crypto allies are pushing for a crypto-friendly regulatory reset, reversing old guidance, fast-tracking clarity, and making the US the global flagship for compliant digital asset liquidity, and you have the perfect environment for a high-utility, banks-friendly asset like XRP to finally get the regulatory breathing room it's been waiting for over a decade. But let's talk about the specific Trump plus XRP rumor that has everybody's notifications blowing up. The idea that behind closed doors, XRP was floated as a preferred rail for certain government-related settlements, cross-border operations, or even as part of a future instant liquidity mechanism tied to this potential digital asset stockpile. The moment that narrative hit crypto Twitter, people started pulling up every tiny breadcrumb. Old Ripple slides talking about central banks, hints from former regulators now sitting on crypto boards, public commentary from think tank papers that literally describe XRP as a strategic asset for state-level payments and interbank liquidity. and suddenly the picture looked a lot less like random noise and a lot more like a coordinated direction. No CBDC, private rails, tokenized treasuries, and a handful of battle-tested assets forming the pipes underneath. Now, to be crystal clear, there is no official document from the US government saying XRP has been chosen or Trump personally endorsed XRP as the chosen one. Those are community rumors, not confirmed policy. But here's where the story turns from fun speculation to pay attention right now. In prediction markets and on-chain betting platforms, traders literally set up markets around whether Trump's reserve would include XRP, and for months there was serious money betting on yes, that XRP would be named as part of a national crypto reserve. Only recently have those odds started to fade as timelines slip and political chaos ramps up, which tells us two things. First, this narrative has been powerful enough that real capital was willing to gamble on it. And second, the delay itself is adding even more mystery. Because when powerful people drag their feet on an announcement, it's usually not because nothing is happening. It's because too much is happening, and nobody can agree on how much truth the public is allowed to see. And while all of this is going down at the political level, XRP price action in 2025 has done something that drives retail insane. It's underperformed the wildest dreams yet again, trading like it's stuck in mud while the narrative becomes more and more explosive, which has led some analysts to point out that if XRP really is being eyed for structural roles, think boring, system-level plumbing instead of meme casino action, it might not front-run with a speculative blow-off top. It might simply grind upward as regulatory pressure eases and utility demand slowly overtakes hype. This is where your mindset as an XRP holder matters more than ever. And if you're still here watching this, do me a quick favor. Pause for 2 seconds, drop a like on this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment Trump XRP down below so I know who actually understands the difference between short-term noise and long-term power plays, because we are just getting warmed up. Let's zoom out and look at the bigger architecture. Trump bans CBDCs and signals that the US will lean on private rails and dollar-backed stablecoins. At the same time, he pushes an executive order that forces agencies to clear the fog around digital asset regulations and provide a roadmap for US dominance in this sector. Then his orbit starts openly flirting with meme coins, strategic reserves, and the idea of America holding crypto at the state level like digital gold. That's not random. That is a coordinated pivot from crypto is a scam to crypto is an instrument of national power. And in that world, you need more than just a store of value asset like Bitcoin. You need high-speed, high-liquidity bridge assets that can move value across borders and ledgers in seconds, with institutional-grade infrastructure baked in. That's where XRP's design suddenly looks less like a bag you bought in 2017 and more like a piece of middleware built for exactly this kind of environment. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Some people think these Trump XRP rumors are pure psyop, designed to pump bags and distract from the fact that big wallets might already be rotating into XRP, while retail is too busy arguing in the comments. Others believe Trump's team is intentionally keeping any XRP connection in the grey zone, never fully denying it, never fully embracing it, so they can maintain plausible deniability while advisors, funds, and friendly institutions quietly accumulate exposure in case XRP does become part of the future plumbing of US-aligned payment systems. You can decide which theory you believe, but the one thing that's not in dispute is that this White House has moved harder and faster on crypto policy than any administration before it. Ripping up old executive orders, killing the CBDC narrative, greenlighting working groups on digital assets, and framing crypto as a key battlefield for economic dominance instead of a toy for degens. In that kind of regime, the assets that survive are not the loudest memes, but the most integrated into real financial workflows, and XRP is already wired into banks, payment providers, and institutional liquidity corridors across multiple continents. So where does that leave you? The individual XRP holder staring at red and green candles while headlines scream about Trump's pardons, AI executive orders, and crypto press conferences. Here's the uncomfortable truth. By the time you get a clean, official, press release level confirmation that XRP is being used in some formal government or quasi-government capacity, the asymmetric upside may already be gone. The market will have front-run it, the insiders will have positioned. The crazy rumors will suddenly be repackaged as obvious signals that everyone claims they saw from the beginning. Your job isn't to blindly believe every Trump XRP theory you see on social media. It's to track the direction of policy, the architecture of the new system, and the assets that are structurally capable of plugging into that architecture at scale. And when you connect those dots, no CBDC, strategic crypto reserve discussions, executive orders demanding digital asset leadership, political families with massive crypto exposure, and a bridge asset designed for institutional payments, you start to understand why XRP keeps showing up in the most sensitive corners of this conversation. So as these Trump rumors keep evolving, remember, narratives are weapons, and right now, XRP is being written into a story that is way bigger than any single coin. The question isn't, did Trump secretly buy XRP? The real question is, will the rails XRP was built for become the very pipes this new anti-CBDC, pro-crypto system ends up running on? And when that answer finally becomes obvious, it will already be too late to position cheaply. This is XRP Insider Network. If you got value from this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, turn on all notifications, and share this video with the one friend who keeps saying XRP is dead. The rumors are just getting started, and so is this new financial system,